second unit, which is simple stresses and strain. Today we are going to see some problems because theory part we have completed. Okay, considering you have all the data required for that solving problems, that means like formulas, etc. Okay, let's see first problem, that is determine the tensile force on a steel bar of circular cross section of 25 millimeter diameter if strain equals to 0.75 into 10 raised to minus 3. Consider E for steel equals to 200 gigapascal. Okay, first of all, you must know the given data, or you must know how to write given data for particular problem. Once you write given data, from that given data you can see which formula is required, or you can imagine. Okay, you can imagine which formula is necessary for solving different problem. Let's see first how many things are given. Okay, first see, or you must know the notations or sign convention for each and every concepts. Okay, first one is tensile force. Okay, we have to find tensile force P. Okay, this is of tensile nature, we have to find it. Okay, in this whole chapter, force or load we have assumed to be P. So let's, first thing we have seen from this problem, that we have to calculate the tensile force P. Okay, P is the force to be calculated. What more is given on a steel bar of circular cross section? Okay, from this the rod is of circular cross section having diameter 25. Okay, you can represent it by small d, which is equals to 25 millimeter. And we are not interested in diameter, but we have to calculate its area, because this is necessary. Area is necessary for every problem, so which can be calculated by using pi d square. Okay, then another thing is given by 25 diameter, we can using we can pi d square by 4. Okay, pi d square by 4 is the formula for area. Next one is strain. Okay, what is the notation of strain? It is equals to small e, which is equals to 0.75 into 10 raised to minus 3. You can see here it is that is, here is no any unit for the strain. Strain is given, which is equals to 0.75 into 10 raised to minus 3, and we have to, or we have given elastic stress, sorry, that is elastic constant, which is equals to 200 gigapascal. Okay, gigapascal, GPA, that means gigapascal. Giga stands for 10 raised to 12. Okay, let's see next. Okay, don't get confused from here, because it is in megapascal, so 10 raised to 3 are divided, so megapascal into 10 raised to 3 becomes 10 raised to 12, which is equals to gigapascal. So don't get confused with this. They have converted into megapascal because this radius is given in millimeter. Now further, okay, we must know, we have three things. E is given, capital E is given, and sigma is to be calculated. Why sigma is to be calculated? Because sigma is equals to P upon A. We need this P. We have also A because we have diameter. So if we calculate sigma, we can calculate P. Therefore, what is the relation between capital E, small e and E? Which is equals to what? Capital E is equals to sigma upon E. Stress upon strain is elastic constant. Okay, and if the constant is tensile, or what we say, Young's modulus, then Young's modulus stands for longitudinal stress to longitudinal strain. Okay, let's go for it. From this formula we can have this. Okay, sigma is equals to E into E. Putting this value, you have got sigma is equals to 150 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, got it? Sigma is equals to what? 150 Newton per millimeter square. But what is formula for? We are not interested to find sigma. We have to calculate the force. So again we must know the equation or relation between P, sigma and A, which is equals to sigma is equals to P upon A. Putting these values or writing this equation for P is equals to sigma into A. So put this value, you will have this answer, that is 73.63 into 10 raised to 3 Newton, which is tensile. If sign is negative, then you can consider it as a compressive. Okay, depending on the direction of force, different things are given. Now here, next problem, let's see next problem. Okay, in tension test, that means the experiment that we have conducted. In that experiment or on UTM, in the tension test, the test which is performed on UTM or this apparatus that we have discussed in lectures, that test is called as also called as tension test. Okay, in that test, a metallic rod of diameter 16 millimeter, okay, first thing is given, diameter which is equals to 16 millimeter, then produce an elongation of 48 millimeter. Then this elongation is what? Change in length, which is DL, 48 millimeter. Okay, then subjected to 90 kilonewton, that means this load is given in Newton, which is equals to 90 kilonewton. The length of the bar is, that means its original length is also given, 150 millimeter. Find out modulus of elasticity. All the problem that we have discussed in last problem, all this we have to use over here. So just a relation between these three parameters we have seen. Capital E is equals to sigma upon E. So we can find sigma with the help of this D and P. Okay, with the help of this D and P we can calculate the sigma. Okay, P, what is the relation between sigma, D and P? Sigma is equals to P upon A, but in A is equals to pi by 4 D square. Okay, next one is what? We can find out this small e, which is equals to change in length, which is change in length upon original length. So independently we have find sigma and E. Just take the ratio of this both, sigma upon E, you will get this capital E, which is modulus of elasticity. Okay, let's start with our problem. Okay, here all this given data is written. Load, diameter is given, change in length is given, load is given, length is also given. Now you will also have a direct formula for DL here. Okay, it is not coming from anywhere, it is just the expansion. In this, E is equal to sigma upon E, values are put it and it is written for this DL. Okay, so this also we have seen in lecture. So referring that lecture, you can also directly write this formula for any. This you can write this formula for L, P, E, A. Okay, in the previous problem, you will also be able to use this formula. Okay, now using that method, let's start. So they have written this formula in terms of capital E, that is elastic modulus, for elastic modulus. Putting all this value here, putting all this value, you will get the modulus of elasticity is equals to 1398.82 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, which is the unit of modulus of elasticity. Okay, try to solve another problem. A wooden tie 8 millimeter, 100 millimeter wide and 40 millimeter thick is subjected to an axial pull of 60 kN and elongation is 3 millimeter. Calculate the value of modulus of elasticity for material. Okay, as this is a wooden die which is cuboidal in shape, 400 millimeter, 100 millimeter wide, 140 thick, and elongation occur, or it is having length 8000 millimeter, okay, or 8 millimeter, sorry, 8 meter or 8000 millimeter. You have to convert it. I am telling you given data, you have to solve it by your own. Okay, I am not given answer over here, so try to solve on your own. So how will you calculate cross section? Width into thickness, that means 100 into 140 millimeter, so it will be about 14,000 millimeter square will be its area for that cross section. Its length is what? 8000. Capital L is 8000. So you can write this given data and solve this problem. Okay, elongation is what? DL given, how much it is? It is 3 millimeter. And what, one more thing is given, this is P, 60 kilonewton. So let me write again all this data. A, which is 14,000 millimeter square, then capital L is given 8000 millimeter, DL is given 3 millimeter, P is given, which is equals to 60 kilo Newton. First, guys, always do one thing, or don't make any mistake while doing conversions. Meter into millimeter, what is the required unit of the answer? Depending on that unit, you have to convert all these units. Okay, don't just put all the value as given or as it is. Just convert them into the required units. Okay, that means you have to convert that kilonewton into Newton. That means 60 into 30, 10,000 or 10 raised to 3 Newton. Then millimeter. Okay, so that wooden die is given of 8 meter. That's why you have to convert it into millimeter, because all the other dimensions are in millimeter. And finally, give the proper unit. Without unit, your answer cannot be completed. So try to solve this problem. I will move to another problem, okay, in which this stuff is given. You can see over here. Okay, let's see another problem. Again, same thing, given data is given. Okay, you can solve this, but I have told you to solve that. Okay, here is the answer. First you have to try and then look at this figure. Okay, don't directly come to this page. Well, let's see another one here. Load of 6 kN is to be raised with the help of steel cable. Find the minimum diameter of steel cable if stress is not exceeded 110 Newton per millimeter square. Okay. First you have to see what is the given data. Okay, try to understand and find the units of that, or make the convergence of all these given data. Okay, I'm giving you some time for doing this. Load 6 kN, which is represented by P, is to be raised with the help of steel cable. Okay, we have to find out the diameter of that cable. Find the minimum diameter of the steel cable if stress is not exceeded 110 Newton. We have to find diameter of the cable. We have given load, that is P. We also have given stress, which can be represented by sigma. So recall, what is the relation between sigma P and D. Okay, first, sigma is equals to what? Sigma is equals to P upon A, and in that A, diameter is given pi d square by 4. Okay, put this all values, you will have this diameter, which we have to calculate. Okay, load is given, sigma is given, diameter is given, diameter is to be find out. So this is the relation between this sigma p and d. Okay, now put this value for area, because in that area d is hidden. Therefore we have to calculate first what should be the area of that particular wire, then we can calculate the diameter from that area. Okay, let's see. In this way you can go for the diameter. Once you got the area, compare that area with pi d square by 4. After doing this, write the equation for d square, and d square is equals to, you got 69.45. then do one more thing, taking square root on both sides, you will get equal to approximately, you don't have this exact diameter, so d can be taken as 8.334. Now here I want to tell you specially one thing. If factor of safety is given, which is equals to 2. Okay, if they say considering factor of safety equals to 2, then we first have to increase the stress or increase this load by 2 times. That means we will have to design this wire for double load. Okay, this diameter was need to be designed for the load equal to what, about 120 kilo Newton or 12 kilo Newton. Okay, we have designed this wire for 6 kilo Newton, but if the factor of safety was to be considered 2, then we must have to take this load for the calculating this diameter twice. Okay, this is what actually factor of safety is. That means we are, if the consideration of factor of safety is done, that means we are, or in that case we will have this diameter quite bigger. Okay, quite bigger, root 2 times. That means it might be up to 1.414 times. Okay, now this is 8.334. in case of factor of safety is 2, we have to multiply this 8.334 by 1.414, which is root of 2. Okay, doing all these things you can okay, but this is not necessary right now, but we will discuss it furthermore. Okay, here one more problem I have given you, which is same as that of previous. A steel rod is subjected to an axial pull of 25 kilonewton. Find maximum diameter if the stress is not exceed 100 Newton per meter square. The length of rod is 200 millimeter and take E is equals to 2.1 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per millimeter square. So this is the problem. Again, write all this given data and try to solve this problem. Okay, let's see another one. Find the diameter of a circular rod 2.4 meter long when subject to axial pull. Length is given, load is given, T, then elongation, that means DL is also given 1 millimeter, E is given. So by using E is equals to sigma upon small e, put all this value, sigma, all this value you have to put, and you can find out this diameter. Okay, length is given, capital E. This is same as that of our second problem. Okay, the equation is written for DL, all the values had put into the formula, and then here you have the diameter equal to 14.95. Okay, now if in case they asked you or they told you the cross section is square, okay, the cross section is square, in that case you just have to, what is the area of square? It is L square. In that case you just have to directly take the square root of 175, which will be up to 16 millimeter. So diameter of the length of that square section will be 16 millimeter. Okay, so design the problem. It is not necessary the problem must be given in the book or from the book. You must know how to solve. If you try to arrange question, okay, it is so in that case you will know the answer. Okay, you can easily find out the answer. It is more difficult to design a problem than answer. Okay, try somehow, you will know this. Okay, now this is another problem. A bar of cross section area 200 millimeter square is axially pulled by force P kilonewton. If the maximum stress induced in the bar is 30 megapascal, determine P if elongation 1.2 millimeter. Observe over a gauge length 3 millimeter. Determine gauge length means capital length, capital L. Okay, capital L. So don't confuse with gauge length. Gauge length is nothing but original length. Okay, don't get confused. Determine Young's modulus, and also different words are just used. No any change has been done in this problem. So Young's modulus, that means modulus elasticity is replaced by Young's modulus, and gauge length, its original length is replaced by gauge length. So nothing is changed, same formula is given. You have to find P. Again you have to write this for P and you will have this answer. Okay, now principle of superposition. Depending on the principle of superposition, you have to solve some problem. Okay, this is not too difficult problem. Let's see. Here you have given a composite rod. Composite rod, it is of different diameter. Okay, 3 rods connected to each other, 30 millimeter, 50 millimeter and 15 millimeter. Okay, it is very simple. If you go, okay, let's see. If you know the actual pull or push on the specimen, you can find out anything. If you have diameter and this load, you can find out sigma. If you find out change in length, or if you have given this E, you can find out E or capital L, anything. Okay, this is so simple problem, or the problem which we have solved few back. The same problem are here, just we have to do it 3 times. Okay, as here 3 rods. Okay, let's start without wasting our time. Here first thing, this total body is in equilibrium. That means total forces from the right are from left. Okay, how? You can see here the load on right member, let this is first and this one is second and this one is third. Let me discuss about this first component. Okay, you can see from the right side 10 kilonewton is applied. Okay, for the equilibrium of this body 10 kilonewton must be from the left, which compressive force, diameter is 15, compressive stress of 10 kilonewton. Okay, so here 10 kilonewton, so you will get, or you can calculate for this first element anything. Okay, let me see what is in the problem. Okay, here see you have given capital E and they may ask you DL. You have capital L for each. Okay, you have capital L for each member. So E is what? DL upon L. And what is the relation between E and sigma? So this is the relation which I have put on the screen. So the problem, okay, the problem is not difficult. Just you have to repeat same procedure for 3 times. Okay, let's see. Let me explain again. The rod is given. Let us discuss only for this element. 10 kilonewton is compressive. You have diameter, that means you can calculate area. You have given its original length, so you can calculate its change in length also. First, see what they have asked to calculate and find total elongation. Okay, they have asked you to find out the total elongation of this rod. Okay, let's not go for calculating all this simultaneously. Let me calculate one by one. I have given the number 1 2 3, so let me calculate dl1, which we have. What is the formula that we were having? PL upon pi d square into, I think, capital E. This was the formula, which is equals to 10 kilonewton. You have L, which is equals to 1.5 meter. Value of pi is also there. E can be calculated, sorry, pi d square, capital is here. Okay, PDL, okay, here maybe 4 PL upon pi d square E. So D you have given 15 millimeter. Okay, you can see over here 15 millimeter. E is also given, which is 200. So that means you can calculate this DL1. Now let us talk about this second element. Okay, let's talk about this second element. You by doing previous calculation, you can calculate DL1. Okay, let's start with this elongation of the 3 meter rod. Now you were having, since here it is 10 kilonewton compressive, that means you have to subtract this from 20 kilonewton. That means on this element total load is about it is equals to about compressive 30. From here compressive 30, and for this third element the elongation load is what? It is equals to 50 Newton. Okay, from the diagram given below you can easily understand here. Okay, wait. Okay, here you can easily see. Sorry, I have got another problem. Let me discuss for this particular. Okay, we will further see. First, let's discuss about this. From this, we will see and go to that problem. See over here. First element is given. Since here is 10 kilonewton tensile, here it also be 10 kilonewton tensile. 8 kilonewton is given over here. So see what happened over here. This 10 minus 8. Okay, 10 is given. Okay, you can see our 8 have shown. That means total load on this element is what? 2 kilonewton tensile. Okay, from this, if you get 10 kilonewton, balance it by 10. What is remaining? 2 kilonewton. Balance this also by 2 kilonewton. Here you can see you have to balance it by again 2 kilonewton. What is remaining? You can see on here 12. Okay, you can see here 12 kilonewton is applied. So 12 plus 2 becomes 14. So this is 14 tensile. So 14 here also tensile. In this way the figure get balanced. Okay, now you will have the L. You have to calculate DL. Okay, you have L, you have P, you have diameters, and you also have the capital E. By using previous knowledge, find out this DL1, DL2 and DL3, and all this, add all this change in length, you will get the total change in length DL. Okay, so in this way we finish our second unit, and try to solve the problem